Ladies, gentlemen, please take your seats. The spotlight is about to begin. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mystery Matt, and you're listening to the Mystery Matt Spotlight Podcast. Jeez Louise, everything wants to make a toot or a buzz sound right now. We got Buddy Haha down the way, playing with a saw, and then a train just went honk. Can't win. Anyways, tonight we are going to be discussing the theories that the Simpsons have had in their episodes that have come true thus far. I am joined tonight by Sarah, Nancy, and Chris is over there too. Hi, Chris. He's waving like a crazy man. You should see him. He broke his wrist, so it's extra floppy. It's funny. He can slap himself on the...
I don't have eyebrows on.
You don't have eyebrows?
Nancy doesn't have her
My emotional support eyebrows. Although the new cream I got for my under eye is like really working.
I don't think I have eyebrows on either right now.
No, you don't have.
Shower.
Yeah, no.
So where do we want to start, Nancy?
So,
what you got?
What I got.
Oh.
Hang on, can we move this?
Yeah.
There we go. What I got. I found 18 of the Simpsons predictions that came true.
Okay.
So I know Chris found 30.
31.
So as I go through, and if I list one that you know, then jump in, okay? So the first one, so this is from therap.com. So I wanted to give note. Shout out. It was actually really nicely laid out and very easy to read and follow. I very much appreciated that. As you die over there in the corner.
Always.
Give him a sec.
Yep.
I'm all right.
All right, I'm back. So the first one is Lady Gaga takes flight. The episode is titled Lisa Goes Gaga, and it is shown that Mother Monster is suspended by cables flying over the audience at a concert. So it's Lady Gaga at her concert flying over, and she's dressed similar to Lisa, and it's almost like depicted the same. I watched I clicked on the episode because they have the episodes all linked into all these. So I clicked on all the episodes to watch. And I used to watch Simpsons a lot. So it kind of brought back a lot of memories, but it was very similar in showing Lisa flying over in the same outfit that Lady Gaga was. But Lady Gaga wasn't until what is L in Roman numerals?
50.
Is it 50? It was the Super Bowl 50 halftime show then. Do you have anything to add to that?
Nope.
Some of these I found like it was like art imitating art or life imitating art.
Yeah.
And like
in that case, it could be like they could have looked at it and go, you know what? That's a great idea. We'll do that at the Super Bowl.
Yeah. And
like,
Lady Gaga could have seen it and been like, oh yeah, let's do that. Number 2, a Nobel Prize winner. An episode in 2010, Milhouse predicted that Bang R. Holstrom would win the Nobel Prize in economics. And in 2016, Holstrom and Oliver Hart announced that they were joint winners.
There you go.
So that I was like, ooh, because that's not something that you can imitate.
Hmm.
It was just the way that they're signed.
Microphone.
Yes.
Mic awareness.
It was the way that their science was.
Boop! Shove it up your nose?
Yeah. So the way that their science was going at the time and their predictions when The Simpsons wrote the episode, it was like they could perceive where the science was going, that they would win the Nobel Prize.
So apparently the writers of The Simpsons are all very, very well-educated individuals.
Yes.
From very, very good schools with like math and science.
And they bring in
degrees.
experts.
Yeah. Like I didn't know this and I was like, oh wow. So it's not like a bunch of bullshit that they're just doing. It's like well thought out, planned out.
Since we're on the well thought out part, I saw a video where they had mentioned in the background they had this unsolvable equation. And there was hints to that it would be solved.
Yeah, that I have that one on the list.
And yeah, so like you can stroke that one off. I guess that
The
was
God
number
particle.
3. And I didn't know it was actually for the God
That's
particle,
what it's called. Yeah.
which is the Higgs boson. Oh,
Yeah.
now you're gonna hammer. Okay,
Fuck off.
all right, cool.
Do you have Tourette's?
Yes.
She might have Tourette's,
Baby.
but
Oh, Brett. Sorry.
what was I saying? Yeah, so they actually hired professionals to come in and sneak in that equation so that it was a correct equation.
Yeah.
And then later on it was proven to be correct, something like 6-7 years after the fact.
And it was like 1 or 2 parts off or something, like symbols or something like that. It was like something, but it was so
It was like
close.
once you finish this, you found that thing that you're looking for. And then someone's like, oh, there it is.
I'm gonna hammer that guy's ass in a minute.
Well, he should be done soon. He didn't saw that much.
The next one is Donald Trump becomes president.
Yeah, I
So,
remember
Worst
that.
prediction ever.
Episode, Bart to the Future. Lisa becomes president after her predecessor, Donald Trump, ruined the economy. And in 2016, Trump is elected for president of the United States.
Okay, so
That to me was like, part of it was like, did he watch this and say, I'm going to run for government? Or like,
He's a narcissist.
another part
Yes.
of that, they're using that for Kamala Harris or whatever the heck. I can, is that how you pronounce it? Anyways, they're showing Lisa wearing the purple business. It's a woman's business suit, blazer, whatever.
pantsuit.
Pants. No. I think it had a skirt, but
Like
it
a-
was.
the skirt suit.
But yeah, skirt suit. Yeah, and had pearls on it like they do in the Simpsons, stuff like that. Well, as soon as they announced that Biden was stepping down, then when Kamala first said, I'll be taking care of things in his absence kind of thing, she was wearing the very same dress that Lisa was wearing when she accepted the position because her president had been down. So,
Purple is very symbolic, though.
yeah, it is. It's a royal color.
Yes. Same with blue, but it's like a darker blue.
Anyway, yeah. Sorry. Go ahead.
The next one, R.I.P. Arnold Palmer. In the 28th season, The Simpsons mention Arnold Palmer, who's a golfer, 4 times in its premiere. This aired hours after Palmer died.
No way.
And so, like, if you and when I watched the one video that I watched, because it brought up, and obviously they're not going to like do an episode and then it goes out the next day. Like, there's editing and it takes time.
It takes like at least a week to
Yeah.
print run of those things,
Yeah, but hours after it aired.
So it aired and he dropped.
Sorry, it aired hours after he died. So he died first and then it aired.
Wow.
But you can't write an episode and do all the animation and then get it out within hours.
It was kind of like during 9/11, one of the Spider-Man movies was supposed to come out, and they immediately hit the brakes on that to take out the towers and remove all shots of the towers and stuff like that. So, yeah, stuff like that gets weird. They did it in Lilo and Stitch too. Craziness.
The next one is Siegfried and Roy Tiger Attack.
Yep, I remember that one.
The episode Springfield, which is an S, it looks like a $sign, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love Legalized Gambling. The show imitated a Siegfried and Roy act where magicians get attacked by their trustworthy tiger. In 2003, Roy Horn was attacked by one of their white tigers during a live performance. Injuries
so long
were
ago
sustained,
already.
but
That was already 20
he's still alive.
Yeah.
But in that one too, when I watched the one video, they were talking about like, what are the odds of that? Because I mean, if you're working with wild animals,
It's actually the odds are pretty
the
The
odds
odds
are
are
pretty
pretty
high
good,
that you're
yeah.
going to get hurt.
Especially since they've had the same 2 or 3 tigers the whole time. Those tigers are going to be getting old, grumpy, senile,
And fucking tired.
sore, tired, and you're telling them to jump through fire when they just want to go and have a nap.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised
I'd
they
be
lashed out.
attacking
Like,
people too.
I do.
Yeah.
and being paraded on stage, right? Like, as a wild animal, that's not where they go.
No.
Very out of element.
So I can remember that episode clearly because when the tiger does attack the circus performer, he's actually riding a tricycle, and you see he's I think it's the tiger that's riding the tricycle, and then he just says "fuck this" and starts attacking the person.
Oh, the unicycle.
Yeah, the unicycle. That's it.
Yeah, I remember that one. They were doing the elephant skit where the elephant's on a ball or whatever. Yeah.
Well, the thing with animals, right, especially wild ones, that the unpredictability of them, not just as they age, but even before. Like, a lot of the times you got to remember to perform those tricks, their handlers withhold food.
Yeah.
So that they do these tricks to get food. So that already adds to the already unpredictability of the animals, because they're just going to lash out. Look at what happened to Dawn Branshaw with Telecom at SeaWorld. She ran out of food, he got pissed, and she became his dinner. You know?
Wild animals. You
They're-
can't touch
yeah.
the wild. It doesn't matter how domesticated an animal is, even a dog.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how domesticated. Like, if it's in the circumstances all line up properly.
Well, even my
anything
cat,
can
she bites
happen.
and scratches me all the damn time.
Yeah.
And she's
Well, your
supposed
cat
to
is
love him.
Your cat's bitten me.
She's biting everybody.
Well, they're love bites. Apparently, when cats get overstimulated, they'll bite you as a sign of affection.
Is it they have autism?
Yes. Yes.
That's also a sign of autism.
Lucy
is being
does.
overly stimulated. And
That's also
lashing
when you
out.
rub their butts, they go in the air. Yeah, definitely have autism.
Sorry, Chris.
Yeah, Burrs. So,
Why do you have autism? Oh, You know I work in the field, and we joke about things all the time. So I'm sorry if I insulted you.
was the guy in the Rain Man autistic?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Like
but
being
he.
able to count the matches.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think actually he was probably the first real depiction in media. of
But his
somebody
would
have
be a
that.
really extreme case, would it not?
No, his was what they used to call it. But he was a savant, but it was something else. It was a higher functioning form. So now it's all one big umbrella, because you can't take two people with autism and they're like, nobody's the same. It's such a wide span. You have nobody the same.
But back then it was called like idiot savantism or something, wasn't it?
Oh, I don't know about the idiot part, but I know
Yeah,
savant was
actually
there.
it was.
Was it?
Yeah.
So
He's
being
an idiot savant. It was probably a derogatory term back then
Yeah.
too, because nobody understood what it was, so they would say idiot savant because he's really smart, but he's also kind of.
Nowadays, usually
Yeah,
idiot
right.
savant means someone who, sat down and started to play piano and just had a natural knack for it. That's what an idiot savant is now. But back then, I thought it's some kind of, it's weird because he has no social skills, and the few things he can do, he does really, really well. Like memorizing phone books and all that kind of
Like,
stuff.
I have very little social skills.
Asperger's.
Asperger's?
Asperger's. Yeah.
syndrome.
Oh, okay.
Like I have very little people skills, but I'm not smart at things.
Back to the Simpsons.
Yes.
Whoa,
All right.
we're 12 minutes in. We can gab a bit.
Next.
Yeah, what do you got?
Faulty voting machine. In a 2008 episode, Homer goes to a voting booth and casts a vote for Obama, but his vote went to McCain. In the 2012 elections, voting machine proved faulty when votes cast for Obama went to Mitt Romney instead.
So you see how the candidates in these scenarios are just off by a little bit. The important ones involved are still there, and that's why, like, when people are like, "Oh yeah, Obama was one of the best presidents they ever had." Yeah, not when you look at the back books. He kept people in wars. He could have pulled them home immediately. There's so many things that, like, mainly his backroom dealings that I've heard of are kind of shady.
I think
Not to
politics
say
in
that they
itself,
all aren't. Right?
people are shady.
Like, if you think that Trump's not shady, I'm sorry. He's got to be shady. It doesn't matter. Like, all of them. Oh, those guys.
No, for
I
one
thought you
thing,
were getting mad at me.
gotta remember, Obama did try to pull a lot of people out of the war, but his hands were tied because unfortunately they had a Republican majority in the Senate, which tied his hands, which is another reason why he couldn't put gun laws in.
there's other
So you
things.
can't blame him specifically for things because
It's more than just him.
No, but there
was
there
more
are
than just
things.
him.
I'm saying that there are things.
yeah,
that
but you're
Obama's
listening
done.
to that information coming from strictly Republican conservative.
No, I'm looking
opinion.
up conspiracy theories. Is what I'm doing.
Probably done by freaking Republican supporters.
I got ones about both sides.
No
Anyways,
politics, because
that's what I mean.
I
got
don't
ones
like
about
anything
both
bad
sides.
about Obama, because I love that man.
Well, love him or hate him, that's all personal opinion, and you're welcome to it.
Next, we talked about the Higgs. What is it?
Higgs boson.
Boson.
Yep.
Horse meat scandal.
Yum.
In 1994, an episode Sweet Seymour Skinner's badass song, the lunch lady was seen reaching into a barrel labeled assorted horse parts and putting the meat into the school's lunch pot. In 2013, it was reported that traces of horse DNA were found in beef produce across the UK. And I remember this.
Wow.
I remember this.
And
And then they ended up finding it in this U.S. school system in the meat that they were serving to the kids, and like their sloppy joes and stuff.
Also, Canada is one of the worst exporters of horses to other countries for meat processing.
What do you mean worst?
We are one of the worst.
Like we do it the most? You
We
mean?
export the most.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, gotta get somewhere, I guess. We grow good horses. It's the fertile soil.
Well, once they fuck up at the stampede, they go to the glue factory.
Mm.
That's another thing that needs to be stopped, is the stampede.
Where are we now?
Guitar Hero.
Nice.
In a 2002 episode, Mick Jagger and Keith Richards give Homer a jacket that has Guitar Hero printed on the back of it. In 2005, Guitar Hero was first released.
Was it the same year?
2002 was the episode, and 2005 was the release.
but they were already in production of the game.
I was going to say
But
they
they
would have
were-
already, yeah.
Oh, really?
That one to me is like a meh. That was like a sneak peek, I think, thrown in there.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
Because that was a huge craze. Huge.
I preferred rock.
oh,
My cousin had
ro-
rock band.
yeah. I usually only ever played guitar because I never played any of the games that had the other instruments. It was either guitar or nothing, so it was like
I
Guitar
liked the
Hero.
drums. The drums were fun.
I always got stuck singing.
I got stuck singing too.
But have you ever heard the theory that they slowly drip feed us information so that when certain events happen, we're kind of already numb to the idea?
Or they're distracting you over here because there's something going on over there.
Well, apparently, the higher ups that quote unquote rule the world are sharing exactly what they're doing, but they're hidden in things like that. And apparently Matt Groening is one of, I think he's a Freemason or something like that. So him being a Freemason also plays into the episode where they did the stonecutters. So all of it, that's all tied together. So now you got the Freemasons, which everybody has heard a conspiracy theory about them by
Well,
now.
we covered the Freemasons.
Yeah, whether or not they have the Grail or, have started the Illuminati, who knows? Oh yeah, there's so many stories. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, where were you when we did that one?
It's my kids.
Yeah,
You're forgiven.
yeah.
Viable, justified reason.
But yeah, they're saying that The Simpsons is one of the ways they start feeding things to us. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Mr. Byrne episode where he's all hopped up on drugs, I bring love.
That was one of my favorite episodes with Skull.
I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing aliens landing in the woods, coming out, proclaiming to bring love, and then we find out it's some kind of an experiment that we've been doing on our own people or something.
While
Or-
Sarah and her band of misfits have a whale on their back, a killer whale going, war, war, war.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
one of my favorite fucking episodes.
What, mainly because they were trying to save the whale, or
That
they were-
and Mulder and Scully were on it.
yeah.
Gillian Anderson and David Duchovny.
Love
Yeah.
that show.
I love David
Show with my
Duchovny.
dad.
I mean, Colleen had a ritual.
Ew.
We ready for the next?
Yeah.
Farmville. 1998 episode shows a scene where kids are excited to play in a yard work simulator. In 2009, Farmville was released and quickly became popular, with people rushing home from work and school to attend to their virtual farms.
Yeah.
That to me could be life imitating art. because they could have, you know what I mean? You see that and you're like, oh,
Let's
take that idea and run with it.
I think that's literally them saying, listen, there's this form of mind control coming. This is what it's going to look like. And then, boom, you've got this thing that glues people to their screens mindlessly to watch these little things lay little eggs so that you can sell the eggs, so that you can get seeds, so you can, like, and it's just a infinite money grabbing loop. It's all a form of making you want to do something you don't want to do. Like, I never log onto the game and go, man, I wish I could pay an extra $45 to make this game a little bit better because they didn't give me the whole game when I bought the damn thing. Like back in the 90s when you buy a cartridge, you have the whole game now. Mm-hmm. You know, now it's like, oh, okay, you got this game. And one guy, I can't remember who it was, from one of the major game developers, he was going to charge you per reload in a shooting game. So every time you reload, it costs you 5 cents.
That would add up quick.
Real quick. And in a shooting game, I'd be like, yeah, no, I'm out.
Yeah.
Right away. Right away. There's no reason for me to be playing this game. This is for people that have money for no reason.
Yeah. Next is Old Beatles Letters. Season 2, Episode 18, Brush with Greatness. Ringo Starr from the Beatles is shown responding to fan letters while saying, "They took the time to write me another 20 years. I'm going to answer every one of them." In England, 2 women received a reply to their fan mail from Sir Paul McCartney 50 years after they had written him.
There you go. Like, it was Ringo initially writing it. They switched it.
Yeah.
And it was probably because they expected Paul to be dead by now. But Ringo was the youngest, was he not? No? He was the oldest, really? Okay.
And he's still alive. And he's got a hole in his pocket.
George was the youngest?
So Paul and Ringo are the only ones still alive, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see Ringo next month.
Ringo's amazing.
We used to have a bird named Ringo Starr because it had Ringo Starr's hair feathers on its head. My mom said it looked like Ringo Starr.
When I was really young, I got Ringo Starr and Ziggy Stardust mixed up all the time. Because I was just
They're
too
quite
young.
different.
Yeah, I just...
Very slightly.
But I just heard Star, and then my brain couldn't
separate the two.
That's right. It's like, oh, is this Ziggy Stardust? No, it's Ringo Starr. Okay. And, you know, it's the time, so you're hearing both the Beatles and David Bowie side by side sometimes, and it's like, is this Ringo Starr? No, this is Ziggy Stardust. And I was like, oh,
Smartwatches. In a 95 episode, Lisa's husband is shown speaking into his own wrist, and the first smartwatch was created in 2013.
Okay, so for that one is down to just the way we were going, because they've been trying to do that since Dick Tracy. You know, calling Dick Tracy, calling Dick through his wristwatch.
Gadget.
Yeah.
But like, seriously, they came out in 2013. It's now 2024. Why the fuck are they still so expensive?
Yeah, they're actually late to the party and they're too expensive right now.
Like, I don't need that nonsense.
I have a phone that does everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got the Fitbit, but it's very basic and just mainly for
I had one of the bigger Fitbits, like the big square one.
Yeah.
And it would buzz when I got a text message.
This does that.
But then while I'm like helping people in the shower and, you know, supporting somebody, I don't need my wrist vibrating while I'm trying. So I just
you just got rid of it.
You
Yeah.
make your clients very happy.
Woo! Yeah. Oops, sorry, man.
Whoopsies.
It's not a service I offer.
It's not a cervix I offer.
That as well. Disney owns Fox. In 1998, a quick scene showed 20th Century Fox as a division of the Walt Disney Company. In March 2019, Disney completed its $71.3 billion acquisition of the 21st Century Fox's film and TV assets.
Yeah. That was common, though, I think.
And in the end of the episode, Homer and Mickey Mouse are sitting on the couch together.
Yes, I remember that.
Yeah.
So weird. Everything's getting consolidated into a very few amount of companies right now. Like, Disney owns so much. Sony owns a lot. Paramount doesn't know what to do with their stuff, and they're losing money on it left, right, and center. Hasbro has no idea what they're doing, whether or not it's on a media front or on a toy production front, because they've now bought the license to Power Rangers, have canceled all content for it, and are leasing out rights to Playmates to make toys. So they're literally turning into IP holders nowadays, these bigger companies, right?
Next.
U.S. wins an Olympic gold medal in curling. 2010, Homer and Marge beat Sweden and took home Olympic gold for Team USA in a mixed match curling. 8 years later, the U.S. men's curling team beat Sweden 10-7 in the there you go, Winter Olympics to take home the gold.
My dad must have been so mad. Because Dad sits there and he watches curling. He's like, oh, you see how it curved like that? I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, Dad, you ever been curling? No. I'm like, I have. Like, what? If you think it's so amazing, go give it a go, man. It's because he's also a bowler, so he understands the rotation of objects flying at other objects. You know what I mean? So he's got that figured out. But I think it's that part that fascinates him, just how people can make these amazing bounce shots that are like, yeah, but it's pool mixed with bowling, and yeah, it's weird.
There used to be a radio station in St. Catharines. It's still around, 97.7. And they used to play, is it porn or is it curling?
Yep.
First thing in the morning.
Fucking love that.
And you could call in and you had to predict if it was like they would play a sound clip.
Like harder,
Yeah.
harder.
And you could win concert tickets and stuff.
I remember that, yeah.
Me too. I used to freaking die laughing.
Do you guys remember, like, I am kind of padding for time because we're only at 26 minutes, but you
I was
guys...
only at number 14.
Oh, good. That gives us 4 more, though. But
3 more.
3 more.
And then we have Chris's.
Do you guys remember the champ? Ever since I was the champ.
I
No?
don't remember, no.
No, not at all, eh? No? It was always about him getting in a disagreement with someone, and like his wife was taking up raising owls or whatever, and the neighbor comes over and he's like, hey, your wife's got a nice set of hooters there, and he's like, I snap, lose it, and cold cock the guy in the face, and then I realized he was talking about the owls, and it's like, ever since I've been the champ. And I think it's supposed to be like a guy who's been like so fucked up from getting into fights that he just think everything is a time to go, whereas someone was actually just, complimenting and using a word that sounded off. But anyway, yeah, it was a radio thing we heard all the time.
Next
Yes, please.
is Murder Hornets and the Coronavirus.
Yay! It's a
1990
twofer.
It is a twofer. 1993 episode. A Japanese factory worker accidentally spreads the contagious Osaka flu to Springfield. In the town, as the town folks rush to find a cure, they accidentally knock over a van with killer bees. Excuse me. The coronavirus was March of 2019, and the spread of the murder hornets was 2020.
Yeah.
No, the coronavirus was 2020.
Was it 20? I thought it was March of 19.
It started in late 19. That's why it's...
Yes, but...
Oh, sorry. It
But
was
the
March of 2020 we went into lockdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pandemic
Right,
kind of... It started making its way over here like October, November
Yeah. Yes, sorry.
of 19.
But we didn't fully shut down until
We
March
didn't
of-
know really what it was until
Yeah.
February, the end of February. It was actually
Yeah.
March 13th.
They started, but they closed all the bars and everything on March 17th.
Yes, but we were supposed to sign a contract to rent a space for a new business on the 13th, and we had to stop.
No go.
Thank God we didn't.
Wow.
That one for me is like
When did the
brain
episode
breaker.
air? When did the episode air?
1993.
1993.
So, yeah, Sarah,
So-
we were 13.
Yeah.
So we want to go back to like season 1, and we should all sit the fuck down and pay attention, because they're telling us stuff 20 years out. Like that's a pretty was that the same episode that they had coronavirus and killer bee?
17 years later.
17 years later. That's ridiculous.
And it both came out of Japan. No, sorry,
No.
the coronavirus was China. But it's not far off, like it's over there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which the plans weren't set into motion yet. They knew they were going to put it in one of the Asian markets. They just hadn't picked which one yet.
What I
They
think,
went on a
my whole thing for COVID was that it was a biochemical experience
Yeah.
or experiment. And because, China is so heavily populated, and in history you hear of things that they have done to try and lower their population, horrible things.
Well, Fauci has admitted that it was gain to function technology. So it's actually against the law. They were giving viruses new abilities.
Yeah.
Is what was going, and that's against the law because you're not allowed to give viruses new abilities because that could wipe out everything, right?
Yeah. So I think this was a way to control population, and it got out of hand.
I agree. Yeah, it was only supposed to kill the ones that were barely hanging on and have been for 6 months.
Yep. And that's what it was going to wipe out some of their population, and then it was all going to fade away, and they were going to continue on.
Yeah, clean up some of the boomers, and away we go.
Yep.
Sad state of affairs, this world, I tell you.
Yeah. Ted Cruz's Cancun trip. I kind of remember this, and I kind of don't. 1993 episode, Marge in Chains. Springfield Mayor Joe Quimby gives a press conference announcing there's a pandemic happening and letting the residents know he didn't escape to the Bahamas during the disaster. It's later revealed that Quimby is wearing a suit from the waist up, like a spacesuit.
Oh, yeah.
And is actually broadcasting from a beach in swim shorts. Simpsons fans were quick to point out it was almost identical situation to Texas Senator Ted Cruz's escape attempt to Cancun during the state's deep freeze.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's nutty.
But that's kind of be just like, if you have money and there's a pandemic hitting, would you
Get
not
the
try
fuck
to?
out.
Yeah, would you not try
get
to
the fuck
leave?
out of Dodge, yeah.
Yeah,
I'll take my private plane.
yeah. Where did he go?
He locked us all down and then he went to Cuba with his family.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And he went on vacation. Told us we weren't allowed to leave our home.
You gotta be on microphone.
I actually had to have a letter that I had to carry with me to show that I was an essential worker, and it had to be on company letterhead, written by our executive director, so that if I got pulled over and questioned, because I would be coming home at midnight from a shift, or I'd be going in for a night shift, and if in the case I was pulled over and questioned of why I was out of my home, I had a letter I had to carry with
Did you
me.
ever get pulled over?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. They were out, like,
We weren't.
No.
That came down when it was martial law in Montreal, and so
Yeah.
they started doing that with
Well,
us.
Ottawa.
It was Ottawa.
Yeah.
And because I know
martial law.
I have family in Montreal, and it was under martial law, and so our company had done that just in case.
The Emergency Act.
Yeah.
Over a bunch of truckers that were voicing their opinion. Because he wanted to hide in a cabin in the woods. But that's politics.
Richard Branson's Space Voyage. Episode, The War of Art. A quick shot showed Richard Branson floating in a spaceship where he admired the art of forger Klaus Ziegler. Years later, Bronson voyaged into space on one of Virgin Galactic's first crewed flights in 2021. But yet again, he could have looked at them and, that looks like fun. I have money.
No shit.
Isn't he the guy that owns Virgin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Airlines and mobile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got just a smidgen of money. Just a little bit. The last one I have is Tom Hanks lends the government some cred. In 2007, in the Simpsons movie, a cartoon version of Tom Hanks says, "Hello, I'm Tom Hanks. The U.S. government has lost its credibility and it's borrowing some of mine." In 2022, Tom Hanks voices an ad for the Biden administration.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
That is fucking amazing.
Everybody.
I just realized I've been writing in this book upside down.
I swear to God, I think they put at least Biden in as the running man so that he could take the pot shots because people will just think he's senile doing crazy stuff where people behind the scenes are actually doing his job.
Like if you scroll through this, like there's a bunch that I have reading it.
Didn't they do that Michael Jackson one? Was that one a prediction?
The guy in jail.
Yeah.
Sounded like Michael Jackson.
Yeah, and then later on, Michael Jackson was tried for stuff.
Yeah, he was.
Who wants Chris's masturbation phone?
Not me. I also don't have glasses on. I can't read it.
What? We're talking about the physical object, friend. We don't care about the files.
I wouldn't be able to read it.
So just read snippets.
Yeah. ones you remember, you know. Read it and then give us your version.
Okay, in season 17, episode 10, there's in the episode, Homer uses a sinking ship named Pizzo Majodo, but Homer gets stuck in the container and loses oxygen while it is dipping low. And in June of 2023, we had that ship, the submarine, and
with all
they
the rich people.
with all the rich people, and they starved for oxygen for 96 hours, apparently.
No, not that small one.
Yeah.
No, it went.
It imploded.
It imploded.
Yeah, that wasn't.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
the search
so-
was 96 hours.
Oh, the search was 96 hours. Yeah, no, them dying was almost instant because they got a hull breach and then the whole thing
It's
imploded.
really interesting when you put a bunch of rich people in a tin can and put them in the bottom of the ocean.
Apparently, they would have.
The world is short. 9 rich people. Whoop-de-doo.
Apparently, they would have fit in a cubic square that's only like 2 feet by 2 feet.
That's how small it imploded.
That's how much pressure there was, and it would have sucked in.
So
and
why wasn't, like, my question is, like, people that design these things,
that thing
because
was
we-
not certified. That guy built that. It used a PlayStation controller to steer
then why would you be dumb enough to get inside?
because he had the money and the stupidity to do so.
Because rich people have more money than brains.
Yeah.
If they only had a brain.
Absolutely crazy. Yeah, you look into that, and apparently it was part of the controller's malfunction. I don't know if it got stick drift or not. But
Are you sure it wasn't one of those separate Nintendo Switch controllers like you get, like
Maybe.
the Zelda ones that don't let you drive on Mario
it's got
Kart?
shitty Bluetooth on it.
Okay, another one I have is from season 6, episode 8, Lisa on Ice.
They got a call and have to
So-
reboot it.
sorry. I said this off mic, but I said they want him to sign into his PlayStation network because he's using the fucking controller. It's like, oh, sorry guys.
We have to reach tech support.
I know we're 50,000 feet below, but I got to do a quick update. You know, and the Wi-Fi down here is shit, so we might be here a bit.
Can you imagine getting that call, Matt? Unplug, reboot.
Just don't hit the reset. Oh no, you hit the reset.
Wah, wah, wah.
Wah, wah. 9 rich people dead again. Whoop-de-doo, Basil.
Oh.
Alright, sorry, Chris.
Your subscription has run out.
Please subscribe to the PlayStation Plus network.
You are out of range. Sorry.
In season 6, episode 8, Lisa on Ice, there's a case of a bully beating up and writing a memo, beat up Martin on his Apple network. The text then got translated to eat up Martha, which showed the PDA file of our new smart texting that we have, and the stupid autocorrect always failing on us.
That's funny.
Like the time I told my brother that I meant to type, of course I'm coming. You always throw wild parties, and it changed it. Of course I'm coming. You throw wild panties.
Yes.
That was the best one ever.
Well, is that accurate or inaccurate?
It's for me to know, and
For
nobody else to know.
And nobody else to know.
In season 10, episode 1, Lord of the Dance, one of Homer's rich quick schemes is to steal grease from all the local restaurants and stuff in town. And then just recently, somebody actually got caught doing it, and they estimated that he stole almost $50 million in grease. So,
I can give him our coffee can full of leftover bacon grease.
Did
and
you see
stuff.
what they're doing in places that like are less fortunate than us? I think even in China, they're using what they call gutter grease, and they siphon off the sewer water and separate the oil from the water, and then reuse the grease that they get out of the sewer for cooking food.
Ew.
Oh, it's absolutely disgusting.
Yeah,
And they resell it. They fill up bottles that they had from other types of grease, and oh yeah, it's disgusting. Here, Chris. Sorry, I took your thing.
Were you trying to smack him in the face again?
No.
Oh, that'd been funny.
Season 25, episode 16. You don't have to live like a referee. The Simpsons take a trip to the World Cup, and Homer is being brought into as a World Cup referee, mainly due to FIFA organization having the shortage from a massive corruption, and then it led in the episode Germany wins the World Cup, and later on that year Germany ended up winning the World Cup, and then there was a big investigation that happened, and they found out that FIFA was rigging games.
Huh.
Let's see, which other ones?
I kicked the
Do I
ball.
have?
It goes in the net. But I didn't put it in the net. I made it go past the net on purpose.
Oh. In season 5, episode 15, in a famous Simpson storyline, NASA elects to send an average person into space, where Homer is then launched in, and in 2013, the UK tried to do the same thing by taking an average person and launching them into space, to the space shuttle.
Did he make it?
From what I can read in short form, 25-year-old. The winner was a 25-year-old Oliver Knight, who beat more than 250 candidates to take a trip to space with 23 other winners. It was safe to say that NASA learned from their source material and chose not to stock. Oh, because Homer ate the Pringles, and that's what eats the potato
Is that when
chips.
he was going through the
Yeah.
space?
No.
Crunch, crunch. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking love
So
that.
when they actually did send these people up in the spaceship, they chose not to pack potato chips.
I totally would have packed potato chips just to do that.
Yeah.
Um.
And then recorded myself.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have gone by myself. You'd have to go with me.
I don't do space.
I don't do space.
Scares the shit out of me.
Yes, me too.
I love the ocean, but it also scares the shit out of me.
Same.
There's a lot of things that eat you there,
Yep.
and not in a good way. What?
We're still on the microphone.
I know.
All right.
Yeah. I was letting them talk.
I'm killing time for Chris to learn things.
In season 20, episode 4, Treehouse of Horror, in the cold opening of the 19th institution of Treehouse of Horror, Homer goes into a booth to attempt to vote. Oh, we already talked about that one. That's from Treehouse of Horror.
Oh, that's the episode. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got one for you. This might not actually be accurate, but the other night I couldn't help but think about it. So I was doing parking at work, and I could hear coming from a bug. And all I could think about, is that really a screaming caterpillar? Like, that was... Because that's what he sounded like. Whatever this insect was sounded like that stupid caterpillar from that episode.
In another episode, I can't remember which episode or season it is, but The Simpsons predicted another outbreak of Ebola, and it's
Ebola.
Ebola, and it's Curious George and Ebola.
Yes.
And
remember that one.
it's Bart Simpson reading the Curious George book. There is many more, but unfortunately, because Chris's reading skills suck, I cannot read them fast enough without having too big of a gap. So,
All good, all good. We're at 45 minutes as of right now. And that's not counting the intro.
I could have filled it with song just now.
Filled it with song. Hello, my baby. Hello, my...
Dance.
No. Do it.
No,
No.
don't. No,
That
no.
one's copyright.
No,
This one's
both
not.
of you both of you can eat a butt.
A monkey walked into a village on a
oh.
Saturday night, peed in the water supply, and everybody died of Ebola. La la la, Ebola. Bleeding from your eyes, from your mouth, from the nose. How the monkey got there, nobody knows. It's Ebola.
That's
These are the
good.
things you remember.
Yes.
Instead of what you need when you walk in the
That's
kitchen.
probably
Yes.
copyright somewhere, but
Mine is not.
It's not because actually Colleen made that song up.
oh
I think. Anyways.
well. Did you know Happy Birthday's copyright by Disney?
Oh, fuck. Disney
They
owns
own everything,
including my fucking vagina.
I think Disney should sell Marvel.
Okay.
Give it to Sony. Sony does better.
I still think one of my favorite episodes of The Simpsons, and I can't even remember what it is, but I think it's the episode where Disney does buy 20th Century Fox, and Bart says right out loud, "Oh great, now we're owned by the Nazi mouse." And it just the way he starts walking around, he's like, "Great, now we're owned by the Nazi mouse," and he's got a bra on top of his head, and he's walking around acting like he's Mickey Mouse.
Wouldn't you say, like, look at me, I'm capitalism or something? I don't know.
I haven't watched The Simpsons in so many years, and
It's on Disney Plus.
I know that, but I haven't watched them in so many years, and it's like I don't remember every episode. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. There's very few.
Didn't they also say that Trump was going to get shot, and he was?
Yes, I believe so.
I believe that was one of them.
And the first female goalie.
And the first female goalie, Chris said. Anyways, yeah, that's a good episode. I hope you guys all enjoyed that one, and we will see you next week with something a little bit more kooky. Have a good one.